The journey towards the free spirit, this is chapter 2. I will remind you many times during this journey, during this 24 chapters journey, that in order for you to get a real benefit from this journey, you will need to do it several times. You will need to walk this journey and get used to its tools, its codes, its narrative, and it will take time. I believe that if you're here with me, especially if you're going to stay later through the other chapters, I believe that you realize how freedom is important for you, and I hope I convince you in time that freedom is not something we can ever take for granted. Being free, being connected to your free spirit can be achieved only through work, through devotion, through practice, through awareness, through understanding that internal and external forces are in competition with your freedom, and that your freedom is being taken away from you many times by yourself and by others just because you're not aware of this, just because you don't do the work you need to have your freedom, to nurture it, to cultivate it, to increase it, to preserve it. And I'm not saying that the tools I offer you here are the only or the best ones, but I can definitely say that freedom in personal and in social matters is something you work for, is something you fight for, is something you struggle for. So this is an example. If you want to improve the state of freedom in your life, you need to devote yourself to some work for your freedom. You may need to challenge some of your current concepts of freedom. Some of them may not be that valid anymore because they don't really serve you in protecting your freedom. You may need to update them, to renew them. I hope you come with this open mindset so we can do some deep work. So this is just an introduction that I tend to repeat, saying that if you want to achieve something substantial here, devote yourself, do the work, read the prayer, answer the 8 questions, read the 8 sentences, continue. It doesn't mean you have to do it every day. It's better to do it every day, but it's okay if you have pauses, if you go out of it for a few days and then return, but try to return. It only means that you watch this video, this 15 minutes video. You don't need to stop it whenever you don't understand. You don't need, no one need. I don't need to understand everything because it flows to our right, creative, intuitive brain that processes the information in a way that doesn't have to involve always full understanding, even if it's better for us sometimes just to be with the information, just to listen, just to feel it, and not try to control it through complete understanding. It's not because I don't want you to use your intelligence. I want you to let go of the need to control things. Because if you're in an exaggerated focus of controlling, you cannot get closer to your freedom. All right, now, this is part 1, what freedom is really about. And this is chapter 2, the second chapter of this part, that says, freedom requires work and has its price. Part of the work needed to improve your freedom, to get closer to your free spirit, is the understanding that it is not given for you just like this, not in this planet. It is not given for you, although it is there in you. You have this great potential this spiritual potential as a human being to connect to your freedom, to follow it, to listen to it, to have a more creative life when you cooperate with your freedom. It is there, like many other positive, valuable options, potentials we all have. Yet, all of them equals to nothing if you don't involve yourself in a process of cultivating, of work, of practicing, of devotion. It won't happen. It's like you have to put some energy to have light, otherwise you have darkness. You need the energy. You need to invest the energy. You may need to buy the energy. You may need to work to create this energy. You need to heat so you don't feel that it's too cold here. You need to put energy to heat the place. You need the attention, the work to create freedom. So you don't have the other side, the negative side, where you have lack of freedom. And the worst case is that you're not aware that your freedom is being taken from you while you stopped working for it, practicing it, while you neglected your awareness for your freedom. So this is what we're doing here. And it has to be said at the beginning of this process. Freedom requires work. There are people who don't like this concept. For them, the word work means constricting, reducing freedom. They have some negative association regarding work. They separate work and pleasure, work and spare time, work and family, etc. Sometimes it is associated with things that are hard to do. It's hard to do some work. And yes, you know that sometimes it's hard to do the work for freedom. But I will tell you a secret. If you don't do the hard work for freedom, you're going to work harder when you don't have the freedom. So you may want to choose the place where you put the work, where you invest your effort. And it is sometimes hard, but it yields the outcome is far better for you. It gives you your freedom. So there is a work to do. There is an effort. It is not given for you freely, just like that. It is a result of work. And it has its price. That means that you may need to lose some things. You may need to challenge some relationships the better you get with your connection to your free spirit. Your free spirit has its own truth, has its own agenda, its own state of mind, its own philosophy. It is there. If you are willing to meet her, if you are merely willing to play with it, with your free spirit is ready to work with you, to cooperate with you, to teach you, to train you, to show you the way. But your free spirit has its own truth. And sometimes this truth will collide with some places that you're used to be, with some friends, some things at work, things that you want people to think about. Freedom has its price. Are you ready? Are you ready to pay a price for your freedom? I hope you do. It does worth it, but you need to know. You need to know that some of the outcomes of the places in your life in which you are not that connected to your free spirit created some reality for you. Some kinds of relationships, habits, things that you used to have, things that are part of you, are made also by the places in your hearts in which you're not free. Now, the further you improve yourself in the work for your free spirit, the further you will be challenged by the things that are no longer related, suitable for your free spirit. You will be challenged. You will need to stop some things that you will realize that they compete with your freedom and you don't want this competition anymore. Some people will say that you become weird, that you are bizarre, that you no longer follow the majority norms, that you make some strange decisions. Some people may think again if they want to keep up with you with the same relationship. You may come up with understanding that you may not want to continue the work you're doing right now. Maybe not. You may have the urge to do some changes that will endanger some of the things that you rely on currently. Your free spirit will have its demands. It will show you the way. It will tell you. You want freedom, right? You ask for freedom, that's great. That's better for you. But here, this is the price. This is the price. And you will need to cope with the prices, with the changes, with the things you're going to lose. You need to lose them, but still, it will be with some pain. It won't be easy. And as I said before, having your free spirit, nurturing your free spirit means doing some work. And I'm not joking about this. I have been doing this work since, I guess, the age of 30. Something like this. When I finished med school, when I realized that something is not working right for me, then I stopped. And many people wondered what I was doing. Why wouldn't I just go to, continue the right path of residency and become specialist in something? But I stopped. And I went into spiritual journeys, even though I didn't have the money for this. And most people did not understand me. Many people left me. I left some people, but I needed to go to the right place, to my truth. And I found my path of creativity, of emotional truth, and it was painful. And I lost some things that I used to have, and I lost money and friends. But I found my own integrity. And from there on, I made many decisions when it was necessary, so I can keep following my free spirit. It hasn't been easy, and it's not easy this day, but it's easier, a bit. It becomes easier, and then your friends are updated, refreshed, changed, what you do, the place you live. You get a bit more flexible for changes, but some things become more and more constant. Your connection to your free spirit. So, get ready for some work. Get ready for some changes. Most of the changes that are waiting for you, you cannot predict them. Get ready to pay some price, but this price just means that you let go in time of things that are no longer needed for you, so you make room for the better things that are needed for you, really, for your freedom. It's a healing process. It is sometimes painful. So if you're ready to sustain the pain, the necessary pain for your freedom, I am here for you, and we have a very fascinating path ahead of us.